And welcome to the Riot Games Arena for the LEC Winter Playoffs, as today we open best of 3 series. And the upper part of each bracket, we see both teams going in. Okay, what is BDS cooking for us? Yay! Finish line. And hopefully they will finish as fast today. I'm Laure, and I will be joined by Treats and Notorious Shivana OTP. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing great.
I'm doing okay.
Notorious Shivana.
I am. I'm one of the best, the top Shivanas in the world.
I mean, might as well be proud of it, guys.
It's true, and it's not AP. Disgusting.
Yeah. Well, today we open the playoffs, and quick reminder of the rules. 3 wins, you get to the finals. 2 losses, and you're out. And as you can see on the bracket here, we have interesting matches on our hands today. But guys, what do you think of the bracket, the strength, and what can we expect of the team, especially given the fact that we play on new patch today?
Yeah, I think the new patch is going to make it really spicy. A lot of new champions are coming in, and I think teams also had some time to prepare now. Usually in the regular season, everything goes really fast, and you're just like, oh, 9 best of 1s kind of just happened in front of our eyes. But now it's some more time on their hands, and kind of they can cook in a bit of a different way.
Yeah, I'm super excited to see how close the rematch is as well, because a lot of these teams faced off against each other in week 3, which is, well, as we can all count, that's a week ago. So very refreshed, and you can quickly, if you were the team that lost, gather all the information that you need and then come in with a different plan to today's series. Yeah,
and it's always about who can adapt the most onto the new patch. But we want to talk to you about this new patch, actually, 14.2 for the playoffs. So let's get a closer look at what we have on our hands with Dagda.
Welcome back to the LEC, where we'll be kicking off the winter playoffs in patch 14.2. There's a few key changes on this patch that'll shake up pro play, so let's break it down in the LEC patch rundown. First of all, the new Champions mode is disabled for the duration of the playoffs, so if you are hoping for some extra fire in the bot lane this week, sorry to disappoint you.
What did I do?
Supports had the time of their lives in the first few weeks, as AD carries were forced to build support items.
Oh, Senna coming
here we
through,
go.
And that's just going to be the Seraphine. Double support item, almost guaranteed to come through here.
Sadly though, the fun is over, as double support items were heavily nerfed on 14.2. The gold penalty now applies globally to anyone who has a support item in their inventory. Additionally, every champion with a support item now contributes towards hitting the minion penalty. On champions, we're still trying to figure out exactly what Wade does, but on 14.1b, he definitely did a lot of damage.
He doesn't have Ghost until about 5 seconds from now. Arrow slows it down, but Humanoid with the spiraling to spare out again. You need a Severing Bolt. Odoamne dodges away and puts it back in though. Humanoid still chasing him. Hang on a minute, finds him. Chasing down the Udi. Who thought it could be done?
The Visionary would be even stronger on 14.2, as its cooldown and crowd control spells received a buff. Humanoid, get ready to make some more epic paintings.
Yeah, I wouldn't have it any other way, you know?
Ezreal and Karma both receive buffs on the new patch, with Karma receiving some buffs to her AP scaling and Ezreal getting damage buffs to his Q, W and R. We saw FLICKR pick up a win with his bot lane last week in the LCS.
Gonna force out the heal from the Nami as Lucio and Masu force back underneath their own turret. Gon wanted to make it happen, but Masu's saying no. First blood back over to FlyQuest.
Twisted Fate has a few new aces up his sleeve, as received significant buffs on 14.2. These will specifically benefit AD Twisted Fate, so let's get ready for some epic split pushing for the upcoming weeks. Finally, some good news for everyone that's tired of Corki versus Azir. They're still pretty strong, as seen in the LCS last weekend, so brace yourselves. The battle for the LEC Winter Split title is on, and the teams will need to adapt fast in the playoffs to advance. We'll be back on Saturday the 3rd of February on patch 14.2 for the opening round. See you then.
Super chill and insightful video about this new patch, and I think we got a nice glimpse of what we can expect either from other regions or the video itself. I'm hyped for Twisted Fate. I think we have amazing Twisted Fate players in the link. What about you guys?
Yeah, we do, and I think especially the Ezreal Karma, like Dagda mentioned as well, that's going to be a huge one. And I also want to say that I don't think Senna will kind of be gone, as we have seen other regions as well. You can play Senna just without the double support item, so that will also be interesting to see.
Yeah, I just want to double down on that Karma. It's disgusting. Like, it can be flexed into multiple roles now. 70% AP, like, my God, it is crazy strong right now.
We'll see in the first series, actually, if we can see some of these new picks, as Team Heretics is going to take on Team BDS. And guys, I want to take some time to talk about Team Heretics, because when you saw the roster announcement at the beginning of the year, for sure the reunion of players who achieved so much together in the past was setting up for huge expectations for them. They haven't been delivering quite as well so far.
Yeah, I think their start was better than I expected personally. I thought they would take some kind of time to scale into it, but they've almost done the opposite. They started pretty strong, and then last week they ended really bad. So I'm not sure kind of where to judge them. They do a lot of things great, but also a lot of stuff in mid-game where I think like they have so many experienced players. How do they kind of do these mistakes on objectives? So coming into today, best of 3, it's a kind of a new battle for them, and it will be really interesting to see.
Yeah, honestly, I had a bit of a hard time to actually evaluate when I was going through the games again, because at times the early game goes super well for them, but they struggle to translate it into the mid game. And from the players we're looking at right here, the caliber they have under their belt, like they should be doing way better than they are. But it's also just standard things like the setups we can sometimes see for a standard Drake fight, having first move, making sure that all 5 members are there when you start the fight. It feels like they're not always on the same page, and you just have higher expectations for players that's been here for so long.
Why are they not on the same page though? Because that's something we've been saying a lot, but what is the solution for Team Heretics? When you look at the way they play, it looks like it should be an easy fix, but it's not. But looking at playoffs and series, maybe we can expect more from them.
Yeah, I think in a series where you can adapt, you can also kind of figure out mid-series what kind of works for you and what doesn't. So say you play a very aggressive dive comp, doesn't work, you can kind of rely on the more scaling kind of safe pick. So I think at least what I want to see from Heretics is this adaptability and kind of just their safety and kind of their security in their picks, because they've tried a lot of things, but nothing has really stuck so far, I would say.
No, I agree. I think you have a look at the comp they had with the Akali Udyr, where it was very limited, super hard to play as well with the way support. I feel like they can make things so much easier for themselves with the way they're struggling right now. And maybe they also think that I'm not saying that they're not good, but maybe sometimes they think they are better at piloting something that's hard to play and then going overboard when you could have made it easier for
But I think it's normal to have these expectations when it comes to this roster, because when you compare them to BDS, and when you compare the veterancy and the experience of this roster compared to Team BDS, GB, it's weird that the young kids are the ones showing more.
No, and I agree. Like, if you take a look at the games this combined roster has together, it is absolutely through the roof. Like, alone combined with these guys, over 2,000 games, and that's counting, of course, LEC and the internationals as well. But not only that, this is a championship-winning team. Every single player here has won the LEC at some point in their career, and you expect more from them than we've seen so far.
Yeah, and in my head, I'm thinking, oh, they have a lot of veterans here, right? A lot of games under their belt. I wouldn't expect mid-game to be a struggle for them. Maybe early game and some new matchups, etc., but not mid-game. So that's kind of where the surprise lies in me.
Yeah, and then you have the opposite side of it with BDS. Jankos alone has more games than the entirety of the BDS players together. And obviously that speaks to his veterancy, but also speaks to how impressive it is with BDS doing as well as they are with their young career.
Focusing on BDS, we want to put a spotlight on Adam today ahead of this series. So let's hear from the man himself with Genero.
Thank you so much, Laura. We're joined here by Adam. So you're the topic of conversation on the desk right now. And I thought we could maybe pick your brain a little bit about your philosophy in the top lane, especially when it comes to the BO3 series that we're going to see you play today against Heretics.
Well, kind of, you know, how I am as a player, I try to always keep the same philosophy, which is, look, I always want to keep my aggressive playstyle in my lane, at the same time trying to find some sneaky windows to help my teammates, because this is what I'm good at, and I believe everyone gets a lot of time surprised by how I play. So I don't think Heretics will be naturally prepared to my gameplay as well. I believe that my own gameplay can counter like their entire team, so I don't expect too much, you know, difficulty against them today. So we need to see. Yeah.
Okay, I'm loving the confidence. Absolutely. Thank you so much for that. Laura, we're going to be heading back over to the desk, and you guys can analyze what we just said.
And see, Broxa, this is what I love the most about Adam. The confidence outside the Rift, but both in the Rift as well. And it shows in his playstyle and the aggressive way with which he set up the rest of his teammates. And I think there's a lot of examples that show this.
Yeah, I think especially now coming back from Worlds, you can see that Adam has really evolved, because he's always been the type of player to go the extra mile to give his team advantages. Before, it was a little bit random, now it's a bit more controlled. So here is a great example of his killer instinct. He plays Olaf, comes out of base, and all of a sudden he creates an opportunity out of nothing. He sees the angle to go for a play down here, obviously Humanoid gets caught, but he continues. He goes into the enemy jungle, and just looks for the play with his team. You can see Fnatic, they have no idea what to respond. And even though Adam walked over Vision, they have no clue what's coming, you know, they're not used to playing against this type of style. So obviously Lavrov makes a mistake here, gets caught out and dies, but this is single-handedly Adam just finding the opening, walking there out of base, and you see it here. Oscar Rinnan, he was just pushing top in the meantime, and this play alone ended up exploding BDS's gold lead by about 1,000.
And I think that's what is really special about Adam is the fact that he's really aware of the map and he's going to see these opportunities or create these opportunities. And for me, that's not the kind of stuff that you can train in scrims. It comes from instincts and a good read of the game.
Yeah, and I think it's so much more important for a player like him who plays champions with Ignite, with Ghost instead of Teleport, because if he's not proactive, they're going to be at a big disadvantage. But in this particular case, he's aware that the enemy top laner's TP is down, he goes for the play, and he's okay with his turret dropping, leading to BDS getting a huge lead. And I think especially on a team like BDS, where Nuclear and Ice don't have the strongest early games, him being this proactive makes a huge difference.
And he's making the other teams run for him, or actually lose opportunities to come back on the play. I don't know, for me, the way he advances on the map, you're always going to lose against Adam, because if you don't catch him or if you don't match where he's going to be on the map, he's always going to have the proactive play and make the best out of it for him and his teammates.
Yeah, and we have another example right here. Plenty of them, in fact, but this time around he's playing Garen, and we can see, again, Flash Ignite, walks out of base, enemy top laner, moving away from mid. He knows he has a Varus and Ashe who can set up an easy kill for him, walks out of the bush, catches Giant X off guard, secures a double kill for his team, and it's just so impressive how he consistently finds these plays. Because again, he did it in the last split, often it wouldn't work, he would be overforcing it now. It feels like he's just always on point, and I think him being able to do this so well puts him on a pedestal and makes him an MVP candidate.
What is difficult in playing against Adam? Because whether you're a veteran player or a rookie player, he has such a specific style that it makes you reconsider every play.
So the beautiful part is that if it was last year, I would say he's going to do this about every game.
Yeah.
Now, it's only sometimes because he can read the map so well and he knows when the enemy top laner cannot respond, that's when I strike, that's when I create the advantage. So it's really difficult, right? You just have to be aware every time he's missing, where's he at, when he's spacing, where's he at. You just need like an Adam tracker. Maybe the support, it's an extra job. They don't only track wards now, they also track where Adam is at all times of the game.
Well, and let's see if Adam can take down his arch rival, actually Wonder, in the opening series of the LEC Winter Playoffs.
Push that weight to get that dough, but I don't break cause I've been broke. If ain't no pain, it ain't no growth. To keep it 100, I came in the running and bet if I had to, I'd do it again. It ain't no race if I don't win. Trust I'm coming up for that top spot, coming up for that throne. Trust I'm coming up for that drop top, coupe sitting on chrome. I done came and snagged my dub and threw them deuces up. To make it rain cause ain't nobody quite as smooth as us. See, I done worked and I done bled cause I done hustled way too hard. And I get further every step, the sky's the limit, shoot for stars. Hustle, 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 hard, hustle, hustle. I push that weight to get that dough, but I don't break cause I've been broke.